Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at XRP, seeing what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about confirmation, things to look for when we see a trend reversal. We're still in this descending trend, so generally speaking, not a great idea to take a long into that. We've seen time and time again what happens with these fake outs, and Bitcoin's been notorious about it. And just kind of preface to give you some heads up on this. Every weekend we've seen from Bitcoin this year has been a red weekend. And mainly, a lot of that factors into just these false pauses that we keep getting where the price action looks like it's going to break out on a Friday and inevitably pulls back on the weekend. So just know it's commonplace right now for pumps to be dumped almost shortly after, and that range-bound activity is probably more of a realistic gauge of how the market's doing versus actually breakouts that are continuing. There's very few continuation patterns going on right now. Occasionally there's outliers, of course, but we want to try to identify what it takes to see that happen, or to foresee that rather, and generally speaking, what incentive we have for the price to go in either direction, either up or down. Okay, so we'd like to start with liquidation levels first. Make sure you hit the like button though first, folks. Really help grow the channel. Really appreciate that. And anyone who is emotionally driven by what I'm going to review here with you, I'm sorry, you're probably not in the right place, because I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, and that's just best practice. Okay, simple as that. It's kind of how it goes, right? And that's how we should always treat trading in general. Treat it like a job, and make sure that even though you can have some fun still, don't get wrong, if you treat it like a business or something that you're serious about, you're going to get better results. That's how I approach it every day. Okay, so take a look here from liquidation standpoint. There's a ton of liquidation, 275 upwards about 285. So I'll highlight that on the charts if we don't already have that. I think that is our resistance range, if I recall correctly. So it's important to recognize that taking a long into that makes very little sense. Just again, based on the descending trend we're seeing right now on the short term, and even the macro too. Again, the macro trend for Bitcoin is down. Generally speaking, it's best to not take a long into that. Keep in mind, Bitcoin is shifting that momentum. Obviously, things are a little different now, but the overall sense is that we're not in a good state for Bitcoin until we're over 100,000. That's, I think, the easy way to understand it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, 285 is the same for XRP. We'll double check that in a minute. Liquidation delta is super high to the downside. We have a ton of late shorts in the market, which with good reason are adding to their position. So with this much in this short amount of time, it's a strong indication that people have shifted bearish in this coin. Same thing here as well. We can look at open interest. We can see 280 is that upper range. Until we get above 280, folks, probably not worth taking a long. Now, again, you're probably thinking, wait, 257 up to 280, I can get a lot of profit out of that. Yeah, but there's no guarantee we're going to hit that level either, okay? Until we get above that, it makes very little sense to take a long into it, because you're trying to break out trade. And breakout traders are notoriously unsuccessful, specifically in the market we're in right now, ever since Bitcoin ETF's been approved. So daily time frame, let's take a look here. Down trend we go. We are above the 20-day SMA, tentatively rejecting out with a 50. Keep in mind, we got previous daily candlestick closures at 272 that have proven here recently to hold very strong. And then, of course, we got the upper range, of course, about 280, 285, right in that range. So the easy way to understand it, we got a lot of confluence between 270 and 280. I'm just kind of paraphrasing there. And in that little range, we have a lot of resistance. So closing above that range is super important. So if you see my previous playout chart here, this is what needs to happen in order for us to be able to see a break, to see a continuation higher. The price needs to break this descending trend, retest the local high as a new low, and continue higher. That's what you need to look for. And it's not present. Okay, that's not happening yet. Alternative to that is if the price does break out, you can see fake outs, which occur where the price works its way back down into the previous channel and has a bearish backtest to the previous high. So those are two scenarios that could still play out. For right now, though, it does look like further downside is more probable, just based on how Bitcoin's pulling back at the moment. Okay. All right, so either way you look at it, those are just kind of the overall situation. We take a look at the actual situation. RSI here is really just hanging out at 50. It's a tentative resistance for us. Money flow index is high, so you keep in mind XRP is still on the bullish side of things in that regard. We're over the 20 as well. We've broken that shorter term trend. And then, of course, MACD trying to diverge, hasn't yet. So truth is, there's not a lot of signs here saying, oh, we're going to break bullish. Everyone just take a long to the moon. That's not the case. In fact, you never should say the word moon and trading in the same sentence, because that's just a stupid thing to do. But the truth is, we're probably not going to see 340 anytime soon until we close above this resistance range of 275 to 280. Okay. Again, I'll clean up our charts on our playout chart. I'll post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you're not familiar. It looks a little something like this. Make sure you jump on over there, and don't forget to like the posts. I deeply appreciate that to those who do that. When we take a look though at the 4-hour time frame, this is a transitionary time frame, kind of identifying for us that we are in a position where we've broken below every single moving average, and that's kind of letting us know that there's been a significant shift in momentum here for XRP. So the likelihood of the price going lower is higher because of this. All right. Now again, this isn't like a perfect situation. You could draw some patterns here that are tentatively bullish, but being below that descending trend line, the local moving averages, and then under 50 on the RSI. MACD is diverging with the expectation of Bitcoin pulling back this weekend. Those all don't really factor in positively to taking a long position. Again, if you're the buy the dip person, I get it. that's generally how it should work. And technically, we are establishing higher lows, right? So we got this little bit of a ascending trend. That's all well and good, but there's a lot of other factors likely driving the price action lower. So if Bitcoin does kind of recover up a little bit, then again, we may see that break, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now. At least at this given time, we don't have a lot of confirmation. What we do have confirmation on is a break to the bearish side of things here. Lagging spans free and clear of the downside. Conversion lines essentially lower than the baseline, and we were below the cloud. We have been roughly, if you include candle wicks, for about 4 hours now. So that does imply and reinforce resistance at this level, and it kind of is consistent with further downside potential. Okay, so again, if Bitcoin doesn't, I guess the key takeaway here is if Bitcoin continues lower, XRP will too. If Bitcoin stabilizes and continues sideways, then we're probably going to honor our ascending trend here, the short-term trend, inevitably break through that resistance range and come down or come back up. But between now and then, we want to presume the price is going to continue lower until it doesn't, based on the trends that we're seeing so far with the entire market, that being Bitcoin, and then also, of course, XRP short term here is not looking fantastic. It's not responding well to Bitcoin pulling back. Okay, that's kind of where we're at there. I hope that made sense and I described that somewhat correctly. That's how it goes though, folks. Again, when you look at things abstractly without an emotional bias, and again, you're going to probably find more statistical favorability going in the direction of the trend. Right now, the trend is down until we break that trend. A solid closure over 275, 280 would potentially change that. Between now and then, it's best to presume that the majority of the market is going to continue lower and XRP is going to go with it. Cool. All right, folks, once more, playout charts available on Twitter, Telegram, or Discord. Check out Bitunix too as well. Highly recommend this exchange. Awesome deposit reward bonus until March 14th. If you're part of my community, make sure you take advantage of that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is the site, link down below. I look forward to working with you. Have yourself a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.